how businesses along the river are faring this 4th of July. We head to Alexandria Bay to see if it's boom or bust for businesses this holiday weekend. Plus, Megabyte Ronnie is on a mission for the Mustard Belt. We find out how many dogs the DeFerrier native devoured at the Nathan's Famous hot dog eating contest. But first, it's Independence Day. People around the North Country are celebrating the 4th of July. We check out all the fun and festivities from around the area. Good evening and happy 4th of July. Garrett Domblewski is off tonight. I'm Zach Grady. Thank you for joining us. We start tonight in St. Lawrence County, where residents spent the holiday celebrating at Morristown's Spillman Memorial 4th of July Parade. 7 News reporter Sean Brinda was on hand. He tells us about the lasting legacy Spillman has left on the community.
Fire trucks and marching bands proceeded down Main Street in Morristown Tuesday morning as part of the annual Stephen Spillman Memorial 4th of July Parade. Master of Ceremonies Peter Paquette says for years, Spillman always helped out and volunteered.
He was a member of the local church. He has a local business, Morristown Fuel and Supply. They used to help the fire department out and still do help the fire department out tremendously, setting up for our festivities that we have. Steve was an overall great guy, liked everybody, and you could always see him. He was everywhere.
For years, Steve Spillman worked as a volunteer firefighter for the Morristown Fire Department. And for more than 40 years, he was also the Master of Ceremonies for the town's 4th of July Parade. With the parade every year also comes the start of the summer marching band season, where local school districts send their bands to compete in parades all across the county before their final performance at the Governor and St. Lawrence County Fair in August.
Well, it's the first one of the year, so it's the first the kids have been out in the street. So things can be a little rough, but the shows I thought today were excellent. I think they're a little above par than what they normally are the first parade of the year. So my hat's off to all the bands that participated today. They did a great job.
Bringing people together to celebrate Independence Day while also remembering a man who brought much to the community. Sean Brinda, 7 News.
The 4th of July is celebrated in Casterland, where for the last 12 years, Independence Day fills the village streets with parades of people and tractors. 7 News reporter Sandy Torres takes us there.
Tractors decorated in red, white, and blue made their way through Casterland in this year's tractor parade.
An older Ford has a case.
Dick Cabin, who led this year's parade, says a variety of tractors can be found here. Cabin says tractors have always been part of his farm life. He says seeing everyone come together to celebrate Independence Day this way is great, but especially the younger generations.
I know we aren't going to be around forever, and I'm glad to see this younger generation coming up. You know, we have nine grandchildren, and I think it's 11 or 12 great grandchildren. So it's good to see them, you know, interested in this type of affair.
On the other side, Meredith Lovendusky from Loudville is helping her family get tractors ready for the parade. She says although it's her first year in the parade, tractors are nothing new to her.
I've grown up here all my life, and you see like every kid of every age on a tractor. Like we grow up on tractors, and this is just definitely like our thing. It's always kind of been our thing.
Those organizing the event say each year it gets more popular.
Martin Birchenough and I started 12 years ago with 2 tractors. And then by the time we got outnumbered, we had a third one. And last year we had in excess of 100, I think 102, 103. Every make a tractor that ever was is here.
And the final count on Tuesday, more than 130 tractors. A plethora of big wheel fun for all generations. Sandy Torres, 7 News.
Clayton kicked off a new Independence Day tradition, children taking to their bikes and taking to the street for the first annual Clayton Kids Bike Parade. The morning started with a color guard-led Pledge of Allegiance. Escorted by a police officer, kids hopped on their bikes, their scooters, and the occasional stroller, trekking down from Frink Park, down Riverside Drive, and back. In total, the trip only took about 15 minutes, although the event had quite the turnout. Organized by Alex Budison with the Chamber of Commerce. She tells us that the success of the event means that it will definitely be returning next year.
We just wanted to do something fun for the kids that would bring the community and everybody together just to kick off the holiday. Seeing the number of people that showed up, that reminds you of how great our community actually is, and seeing everybody together.
After the race wrapped up, all of the participating kids posed for a picture commemorating the first of what many hope will be a new 4th of July tradition. The weather may have caused a late start, but competitors in Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest were still ready to roll Tuesday for the Coney Island holiday staple. One of those competitors, Defeatville native Ronnie Megabite Hartman. Although Megabite isn't coming back to the North Country with the mustard belt, he did finish 16 dogs during the 10-minute competition. In a Twitter post after the competition, he said, though it wasn't his best performance, he will never quit and looks forward to competing in another Nathan's hot dog eating contest in the future. We'll head over to the first and get our first weather now in the Weather Center with John Kubis.
Quiet day out there, not too much happening, not too much going on. Let's check those maps. First weather brought to you by Doors Plus in Adams Center. And I had some showers earlier today, now not so much, courtesy of high pressure, and that trend continues overnight tonight and tomorrow as well. Upper 60s at midnight, mid 60s tomorrow morning, then by noon, a whole lot of sunshine and temperatures rather warm, right around 81 degrees. We top out near 90 tomorrow and lower 90s on Thursday. So we'll talk about that and a whole lot more in a bit. Send it back to you.
Thanks, John. For tourist hotspots like the village of Alexandria Bay, the 4th of July can be an economic boom. 7 News reporter Chad Charette checks in with local businesses to see how they've been faring this Independence Day weekend.
It's Independence Day in the Bay, with townies and travelers alike taking to the streets. Ashley Carlos with the Chamber of Commerce tells us 4th of July weekend is one of the busiest times of the season.
The 4th is obviously a well sought after event. The fireworks over Bolt Castle, the different restaurants into town, shopping, eating, resorts, the river. It's going to be a beautiful day, so I anticipate a lot of people to be on the river.
And on the river, no one is doing better business than Uncle Sam Boat Tours, evident by this massive line of folks looking for tickets.
Busy days are easier than slow days, honestly. It keeps everybody moving, and we like to see lots of people.
And for the holiday, Uncle Sam Boat Tours is offering a fireworks cruise that'll provide views of the show above Bolt Castle.
They sell out every year, but it's a huge draw every year.
But boat tours aren't the only service seeing a boon. Right across the street sits Riley's by the River. Thanks to the holiday, the bar/restaurant is seeing higher than normal foot traffic.
We have a lot of customers that enjoy a tour, then come in and cap it off with a cocktail or dinner with us as well.
And with tourism comes shoppers. Monica Morgado at River Magic says she's seen folks from all over.
Oh, it's been fun this 4th of July. We got lots of people from all over the world. I just had people here from England. I've had some people from, Africa and Great Britain.
Come dusk, those fireworks will start shooting off right above Bolt Castle. So if you don't want to miss them, swing by the bay. Chad Charette, 7 News.
A majority of Watertown City Council is in favor of removing 2 unfinished planter boxes, bringing back parking spots to downtown. The topic was discussed at Monday night's council meeting. The 2 cement planter boxes are part of Watertown's downtown streetscape project. Currently placed in front of the KeyBank building, the planters removed 4 existing parking spots. The building's owners, Jake Johnson and Bobby Ferris, asked a few weeks ago for the spots back. The city planning department responded with 2 options. Option A, to add an ADA accessible parallel parking spot next to the clock tower in front of that building. That option costs an extra $1,000, with the planter boxes remaining. Option B, remove the concrete already poured and put in a new curb line to allow for 2 angled parking ADA spots. Option B would cost almost $40,000. 3 of the 5 council members preferred the second of the 2 options. The council plans on asking Ferris and Johnson to pay for the construction costs.
It is going to be more of an expense, but I think it's important to have as much parking as possible out front. We know that KeyBank is closing their other branch on Washington Street. It's going to drive more traffic here.
We keep talking about investing in downtown. We want people to come downtown. We want to support the businesses, and yet we're reducing parking.
Council members Cliff Olney and Patrick Hickey are in favor of option A, keeping the flower boxes. We did reach out to both Bobby Ferris and Jake Johnson for comment. We did not hear back. 2 Watertown residents face multiple charges after allegedly subjecting a 15-year-old boy to excessive punishment. Watertown City Police charged 34-year-old Paulette Wilson Guzman Clement, along with 22-year-old Makai Wilson Guzman Clement, with a felony count of second-degree assault and endangering the welfare of a child, a misdemeanor. The 34-year-old Paulette is accused of striking the 15-year-old several times with the belt. It's said those strikes caused marks to his arms, legs, and buttocks. Additionally, Paulette is accused of burning the boy's hand with a spoon, causing it to blister. Makai is accused of aiding and abetting in the acts and is also being charged on both counts. The two were held pending arraignment in Cap Court. Still to come tonight, Mel Busler not taking the night off. He's in the building with your North Country Sports Report.
Hey, Zach, we'll check in on Bob Hughes, who's looking for his 15th city golf title.
Plus, travel troubles. Americans across the country face heat and heavy rain this holiday, slowing down celebrations and travel when 7 News continues.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Dumbluski. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
The winning evening lotto for your 4th of July, the daily 672, and the win 42348. Many Americans spent the country's 247th birthday dealing with heavy rains and heat. CBS News correspondent Astrid Martinez reports from New York.
On Coney Island, torrential rain and a dangerous lightning strike delayed Nathan's famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest. Storms brought flights to a temporary halt at major hub airports in New York and Denver. The TSA expects busy airports this week, but down from last week's record highs.
Today doesn't seem as busy as I thought it would be, being 4th of July.
In Boston, heavy rain brought overnight flooding that forced commuter rail service to be halted in parts of the city. Intense storms caused low visibility, slowing down travel on parts of I-85 between Atlanta and Montgomery, Alabama. Meanwhile, millions of Americans spent the day trying to beat the heat. In the nation's capital, Independence Day parade goers endured temperatures that broke 90 degrees, while some strolling the National Mall took the heat in stride.
It's hotter where we're from. We're from the Colorado River in California, and it was 117 there yesterday.
We're visiting from Ireland. It's very humid, very hot. Yeah. So we end up kind of going along by the trees and stopping and having a little rest.
Back in Brooklyn, skies cleared long enough for reigning champion Joey Chestnut to scarf down 62 hot dogs, including the buns, keeping his title for at least another year. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Republican presidential hopefuls are coming out courting some first-in-the-nation primary voters this Independence Day, while President Biden's July 4th takes part from the White House. CBS's Nicole Sanga is in the nation's capital.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was among the Republican presidential hopefuls working the parade routes in New Hampshire this July 4th.
We need people to stand up and fight back, and that's exactly what we're doing.
They're courting first-in-the-nation primary voters in a race that's been slow to heat up this summer. Republican strategist Leslie Sanchez told CBS Mornings this election cycle, big GOP donor money is funding candidates other than former President Donald Trump.
You have a lot more conversations behind the scenes of people waiting to see if they can really be that alternative.
Among them, former Vice President Mike Pence, who celebrated Independence Day in Iowa.
For me, it was vitally important to be here where the journey to the White House always begins.
President Biden may look to last week's Supreme Court rulings on affirmative action and student loans to shore up some key voting blocs in his coalition, including young people, LGBTQ+ voters, and Black and Hispanic Americans.
Those are going to be groups that are going to be buoyed, that are going to be more enthused to show up and to turn out in 2024 because of those decisions.
Speaking from the White House to the nation's largest teachers union meeting in Orlando, President Biden took a swipe at Republicans.
Let's stand with teachers and educators against politicians who are trying to score political points by banning books.
The president is set to host active duty military families and other events leading up to the annual fireworks display in the nation's capital. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, the White House.
John Kubis joins us from the Weather Center for your full forecast when we return.
Now, tonight's weather.
It was a warm day today, and tomorrow's going to be rather warm as well. Let's check out the almanac. We got up to 83 degrees for the high, and 59 for the low. As far as the averages, fairly close to the average low of things, and a couple of degrees warmer than the normal high of 79. We're going to tack on at least a couple of degrees to tomorrow's high, and I think we top out near 90 here in the city, a little bit warmer away from the lake. Records 91 set back in 2018. It was a chilly one in 1962. We got down to 35. Had a couple of showers and thunderstorms earlier today, mainly in the afternoon. Now all is quiet, courtesy of high pressure located off to our west. Located over Michigan, that high sticks around for the next couple of days, keeping us rather warm, and it's going to be a tad humid as well. A couple of showers and storms way off to the west over western Wisconsin. That cold front should blow on through early Friday morning and give us all the risk for a couple of rain showers, possibly a thunderstorm to end the week. Notice on the futurecast overnight, all is quiet. A little bit of patchy fog up along the river and also along Lake Ontario, potentially through the Black River Valley as well. A very warm start to the day tomorrow, a warm finish as well. This run of the model trying to indicate maybe 1 or 2 rain showers up towards Potsdam and also one down towards the Tug Hill Plateau. I don't think we see any rain. I think this is wildly overdone. I think it's going to be warm and humid tomorrow with a whole lot of sunshine. As far as overnight tonight, lows in the very warm and kind of muggy mid-60s with a little bit of patchy fog, potentially some dense fog out there. Tomorrow looking sunny away from the lake, near 90 in Philly for your high, and same can be said in Carthage, 85 here in the city. A little bit closer to Lake Ontario, 82 out Sackett's Way. In Lewis County overnight, all is quiet, some patchy fog. Lows in the lower to middle 60s tomorrow, whole lot of sunshine. Highs anywhere from 85 in Barnes Corners to near 90 in Harrisville, and also for you in Lawville. St. Lawrence County tonight, patchy fog, lows in the lower to middle 60s tomorrow. Looking sunny and hot, 86 the high in Wanakina, 89 in Potsdam, 91s in Messina, Norfolk, and also for you in Ogdensburg. Lower 90s on Thursday, even here in the city. I think we top out around 90, 91 degrees with a whole lot of sunshine. Friday, best chance of rain, some showers, some storms. That'll be in the morning. Otherwise, some sun by the afternoon, highs around 80. Saturday looking dry. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, not so much. The risk of rain with a touch more humidity in the air. Coming up next, Mel has sports. Stay tuned.
Now your North Country Sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report. The 101st Watertown City Golf Tournament is scheduled to begin with the tourney qualifier July 8th at Thompson Park Golf Course. Sign-ups for the tournament are taking place until 7 o'clock Thursday night, July 6th. Now, the tournament is open to anyone who lives or works in Jefferson County or is a member of a golf course in Jefferson County. Bob Hughes knows what it's like to win the event. You might say he's made a habit of it. Bob Hughes is getting ready for another run at a city championship. He's won 14 titles in this event and is looking forward to another full week of golf.
Looking forward to it. It's just one of the annual events of the summer, golf summer, so I'm excited about playing.
The course has changed hands over the last year. Hughes says it's in great shape. It's certainly a course he knows well.
The course looks great. It's in great shape. Ken and his staff have done a nice job. I mean, the holes are the holes. Nothing's really changed up there.
As I mentioned, Bob Hughes is a 14-time winner of the championship. John Buffalini is next in line with 8 titles. Hughes says he and Buffalini enjoy testing each other and being tested by the rest of the field.
Well, I don't know if we're getting any better, but I think we both like the competition, and it's just fun to go out and play. It's a fun week.
Bob Hughes enjoys the competition and certainly enjoys winning. He'll be in the hunt for number 15 beginning this weekend. Well, it's time for your weekly Can-Am Speedway report, the nasty track of the North, with a full slate of action scheduled for this Friday night. It's family, carload, and youth bike night with all 6 classes back in action. Gates open at 5 p.m. Racing begins at 7 o'clock. Checking results from the Pabst Shootout 358 modified feature. Billy Dunn took home the checkered flag. He was followed by Tim Fuller, Jordan McCready, Sean Shaw, and Ryan Arbuthnot. Dirt Series Sportsman featured Tyler Stevenson won his first Sportsman Series race ever, followed by Kyle Devendorf, David Rogers, Nick Haywood, and Tyler Corcoran. And in the Empire Super Sprints feature, the order of finish, Jordan Poirier, Paulie Colagiovanni, Sean Dunneth, also Jason Barney, and Dylan Swernick. Well, tonight's Watertown Rapid Scoreboard brought to you by Fairground Inn, located on Coffeen Street in Watertown. Fairground Inn features gourmet sandwiches, Italian specialties. Daily specials include Thursday night prime rib, along with Friday fish, mac and cheese. Family owned and operated. Say hi to Leo for me, won't you, for great food. It's Fairground Inn. Perfect game Collegiate League baseball action tonight. They went 10 innings in Utica before the Blue Sox defeat the Watertown Rapids by a score of 11-10. Orioles at the Yankees, bottom of the first. Gleyber Torres at the plate. You can hang laundry on that rope. 2-run blast to left. Yankees go on top 2-0. Top of the 5th, 3-0 Yankees. Aaron Hicks says, take that, against his former team. Solo shot to right, cutting the Yankees lead to 3-1. Now bottom of the 7th, 4-3 Yankees. Jose Trevino at the plate. Get a new ball. Solo shot to right, now 5-3 Yankees. Later in the 7th, Harrison Bader drives in 2. With this hit down the line, Yankees go on to beat the Orioles 8-4. Brett Kennedy won his first Major League appearance in 5 years. Ellie De La Cruz went 4 for 5 with hits from both sides of the plate. Cincinnati Reds beat the Washington Nationals 8-4. Kennedy struck out 3 and allowed 4 runs, 5 hits, and 5+ innings, only getting into trouble late in his 86-pitch count. Well, Jonathan India hit 2 home runs. Nick Senzel had a 3-run shot, and the Reds stole 6 bases. They had to give him back. They've won 3 in a row, 6 of their past 7. All-star outfielder Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels has a broken left wrist and has been placed on the 10-day injured list. Yankees say Trout has a broken hamate, suffered in a 10-3 loss on Monday night. The slugger fouled off an 0-1 pitch from Nick Martinez, leading off the 8th inning, and immediately shook his left arm. Angels manager Phil Nevin and a trainer came out to check on the slugger, and he left the game. Shohei Ohtani has left the Los Angeles Angels game tonight against the San Diego Padres with a blister on the middle finger of his pitching hand. The two-way star exited after giving up consecutive home runs to Xander Bogaerts and Jake Cronenworth with none out in the 6th inning. The right-hander start had been pushed back a day due to a cracked fingernail. His velocity was down Tuesday, and he left trailing 5-1. Ohtani made the last out at the plate in the top of the 6th. And Roger Federer has received a standing ovation of about a minute and a half from spectators and Princess Kate as he entered the royal box at center court during a brief ceremony honoring him for his men's record 8th singles championship at Wimbledon. Wearing a cream-colored suit and his purple All England Club members pin attached to a lapel, along with a striped shirt and polka dot tie, Federer walked to his seat and stood between his wife Mirka and the Princess of Wales. Well, that's it for now. We will pause for the cause. When we come back, Zach Grady will wrap things up.
For John, Mel, and the rest of us here at 7 News, we wish you a happy and safe 4th of July.